Welcome, my name is Steve ARCHDEACON, and today we're going to be talking about potentially the most important sheet you're ever going to see in all of music that is going to help you understand music in its simplest form. Let's get started. This sheet right here is a sheet that I've created over the past over 5 years of teaching, and mind you, I've been teaching for 15 and playing for 30 years. I'm a performing musician, so everything that I'm teaching, everything that I teach, is everything that I use to make a living. Okay, so let me just start at square one so I make sure that you actually understand music in its simplest form, because it's really simple. It's how you explain it. This is how I always explain it to anybody, okay? Recite your alphabet. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Can you speak the English language? So your response, yes. You took 3 letters out of 26 letters that you rattled off like that, and you formed a word to communicate something to me. The musical alphabet is only 7 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And all we're doing is taking 3 letters out of 7 and forming a chord to communicate something through sound. I always do this. Tell me how I'm feeling. So am I angry? You most likely said no, but how did you know that? Because I didn't say one word to you. I communicated that to you through sound, through chords. The better you understand this sheet, the better you're going to understand music. Now, I've separated it specifically the right side of the circle of fifths and the left side of the circle of fifths. What do you think is easier, 26 letters or 7? Obviously, I'd go with 7, right? Less letters to remember and everything. You can actually say the alphabet backwards too. You can be like, okay, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Try that. It's actually kind of hard. So if I say to you, what's the one of C? It's C. What's the one of D, as in dog? D. What's the one of A? A. Hopefully you're seeing a little pattern here. So what's the one of G? Good. G. What's the one of E? E. See what I mean? So now, what makes up a chord? This is the basis of all music. The 1, the 3, and the 5 equals a major chord. Now, what does that mean? Why do we use numbers? Because it's the same formula for whatever key that you're in. It's really like kind of simple, but it's how you explain it again. So the 1, 3, 5 of any major scale, how many notes are in the musical alphabet? 7. How many notes are in a scale? 7. What does the 1 tell you? What note you're starting on out of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if I say, what's the one of C? It's C. You're just starting on the C. So C major scale, maybe you've heard this. That is this, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now from C to C, this is just an octave. 1 is low, 1's high, okay? So what makes up a chord now? The 1, 3, 5. So what's the one of C? C. What's the 2? D. But we're not looking for the 2. We're looking for the 3rd. What's the 3rd? What's the 3? E. What's the 4? F. We're not looking for the 4. We're looking for a 5. Bam. C, E, and G. Cows eat grass. Just remember, cows eat grass, because now you're picturing a huge cow eating grass. And it's kind of unusual, and you're probably most likely going to actually remember it. That is this. In this C chord, I'm just playing a C, which is your 1, an E and another E, which is your octaves, which is your 3rd, and then a G. That makes up a C chord. So what makes up a G chord? G is your 1. Look here. Every time you say like G chord, look here. A chord here. B chord here. So G chord equals a G, B, and D. And if you notice, I made these bold. Every 1, every 3, and every 5 are in bold, so it sticks out a little bit more visually to our eyes. Okay, so what makes up a D chord, as in dog? D, F sharp, A. What does a sharp do? A sharp just raises the note a half step. On the guitar or the ukulele, it is up 1 fret. This way is up because the sound goes up. This way is down because the sound goes down. You have a F sharp. Here's an F, there's an F sharp. It just raises it a half a step, which is 1 fret. Okay, what does a flat do? Flat lowers it 1 fret, a half a step. So if this is an F, there's your E. What makes up an A major? A, C sharp, E. What makes up an E major? E, G sharp, B. What makes up a B major? B, D sharp, and F sharp. We're only going to be dealing with right now, when you're first really kind of starting, major chords and minor chords. The 1, 3, 5 equals a major chord. And another example, if you're still a little bit confused, is this. Take your name, like my name, Steve. What's the 1, 3, 5? What's the first letter, the third letter, and the fifth letter of Steve? The first letter is S. The second letter would be T, but we're not looking for that. Next letter is E. Skip the V, and then the fifth letter is E. Did I do that right? S-T-E-V-E. Yes. Okay, I did it right. Good. Music is all math. So if you're pretty good at math, this is pretty simple. But again, you're going to have to hear this again and again and again, because it kind of is a little bit confusing, but this is just the basics of music. All right, it's like building a house. You have to have a good foundation. This is your foundation. There is a lot of other things in this sheet. Mind you, I've been adding to this sheet literally for 5 years. I have a 7-year-old student right now who I started with when he was 4, and I actually got him to understand this. That's where I knew I was on the right track with this, because I was teaching this stuff for years, and literally people were looking at me like I was an alien. I mean, I kind of do look like an alien, but hey. But now I'm explaining all this stuff, and I have this sheet for every single lesson, and it makes all the difference. And when I'm learning too, I have the sheets here, right in front of me on my music stand. There's this sheet, which is the right side of the circle of fifths. Now watch this. C, G, D, A, E, B. Here is the circle of fifths. C, G, D, A, E, B. There's a whole left side of the circle of fifths as well. Let me just show you really quick. Don't worry about this side too much unless you're playing jazz or classical music. The left side of the circle of fifths goes F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. Here you go. F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. We're going to describe everything that is in this sheet in detail. Now, how do you make a major chord minor? You have to flat the third. What does a flat do? It brings it down a half step, which on the guitar is 1 fret. Mind you, the 1 and the 5 in a major and minor chord never change. So what is a C major? C, E, G. What is a C minor? Well, you have to flat just the third. So the C and the G stay exactly the same. You go C, E flat, G. Here's the C major. Here's the C minor. Because this is your third, minor third. What is a G minor? G, B flat, D. What is a D minor, as in dog? D, F, A. If you flatten a sharp note, all you have to do is just take away the sharp. Simple. So A minor, A, C, E. Here's an A major. Here's an A minor. All right, so E minor, E, G, B. Now, B minor, B, D, F sharp. Mind you, again, the 1 and 5 stay exactly the same. The only thing that you change is the third. So in any chord, the third tells you if it's major or minor. If you just had a C note and an E note, well, that's a C major. If you had a D and an F sharp, that's a D major. If you had an E and a G sharp, that's an E major. Get it? That's major and minor. Now, if you wanted to write a song, how do you know what chords you can actually play if you wanted to stay in the key of something? Watch this. We're going to do just C major. Here's your C major scale. You just have your C major chord, which is C, E, and G. D minor chord, D, F, A. Because that F, D, F sharp, A, you go flat the third, is an F. You take away the sharp. So look, D, F, A. E minor, E, G, B. F major, F, A, C. G major, which is your 5. G, B, D, okay? And then A minor, which is your relative, we'll get to that in a second, A, C, and an E. Or you can go A, C, E. And then you have a B diminished. Now, what is a diminished? Don't really worry about diminished too much. I'm going to go over it very, very briefly. A diminished triad is basically a minor chord, and then you flat the 5 as well. So a diminished triad is a 1, flat 3, and a flat 5. We can go into the full diminished and half diminished as well another time. Now, in popular music, you know how many times I've used a diminished chord in playing 30 years of guitar? Maybe like once. So unless you're playing jazz or classical music, you're probably most likely not going to use a diminished chord. A diminished chord sounds like this. It's a leading chord. It adds tension. Music is all about tension and release. If I went like this for like 5 minutes, you'd be like, I feel uneasy. But if I went, you're like, ah, okay, release. Kind of like in the same respect, if I went like this. I just added tension. Oh no, more tension. You're waiting for this. You're waiting. See what I mean? Now, in music, you have to specify minor. If you say just a letter, it means major. Okay, so if you say to a musician G, it means G major. But if you mean G minor, but you tell them G, you just told them G major. So you have to specify minor. If it's major, just say the letter. So, for example, G major. Here's G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, F sharp diminished. How does this apply to a song? Let's take Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. There's 3 chords in the entire song. C major, G major, and then A minor. That's it. We have to know the key of each song that we're playing in. We have to know why we're putting our fingers down on the fretboard, where we're putting them down. If we don't know that, we're just memorizing patterns and shapes. It's not really going to make sense to you. Here's how to figure out the key of a song. The song is going to start on a major chord or a minor chord, right? We're just dealing with major and minor right now. If it starts on a major chord, that's most likely your 1. About 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be your 1. Now, if it starts on a minor chord, that's most likely 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times, that's most likely going to be your 6. Now, the 1 and the 6 are the relative major and relative minor of each other. Relative right here, okay? 1 and 6 are relative. Now, what does that mean? Relative, basically, if you are related to somebody, you're closely related to them, right? You're relatives. A C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then your octave of C. Now, what is an A minor scale? Well, in a major, if you make a major scale a minor scale, you flat the 3rd, 6, and 7. So if you flat a C sharp, an F sharp, and a G sharp, it's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then an octave of an A. Look, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, octave of an A. C major scale and A minor scale are the same scale. C major, you're just starting on a C. A minor, you're starting on an A. Shocking. All right, so light bulb in Simple Man, it starts on a C. My thinking is it's in C, but we need the other chords to let us know if that is the actual case. Simple Man starts on a C. Maybe that's your 1. Most of the times it is. Then it goes to a G. Does that work in the key of C? Yes, it does. G, G major. And then your next chord, A minor. That is your 6, which is your relative. Bam, bam. Those are the only 3 chords in the entire song. That's it. All right, so it's actually pretty simple. It's simple, man. Get it? All right, bad joke, all right? But whatever, you get the point. Please subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts. And if there's any other videos that you want me to do, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure you have an awesome day, stay positive, and hopefully this helps you in some way in your musical journey. All right? Take care.